Alright, everyone, welcome back to Unbound Chapters podcast. I'm Sandra.
I'm Isabel.
Today we are doing a new video, I guess.
Yeah.
We're starting our first chapters breakdown video.
It took us a minute to figure out how we were gonna do it, so that's why it's such a long time between our last video and this one.
Sorry.
But I think we figured it out.
I thought I had something on my nose. Yeah, so before when we talked about it, we were going to do like 5 chapters, but we decided to do, we decided to do 8 chapters for this one, or well, technically 7. We're looking at the 8th chapter, but we did
it's about 100 pages.
Yeah, we did about the first 100 pages.
Well, it's 100 pages for me.
Yeah, it's 137 for me. Yeah. But our book is called Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I've heard a few things about it from TikTok. I
heard a lot of things too, but I didn't look into it too deeply because I wanted to be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know anything about what the story is about.
Same.
And I literally don't know anything. I only heard, I guess, this guy that we are introduced to now. I guess his name is Kingfisher, but I'll get to him later. But all I heard was an audio of him talking. So literally, I'm not gonna lie. When in the audio he called her Osha. So I was like, where is this person coming from? And it hasn't said it yet. So obviously I don't know what that part is from. But
we don't always go in blind like this. But sometimes it's just interesting to see what's gonna happen when you don't know anything.
Yeah, I literally just saw things on TikTok about people just showing the book cover, and I was like, I like that book cover.
It's a pretty sick book cover.
I'm a full judge a book by its cover person.
Same.
If the cover looks boring,
in the world, but
if the cover looks boring or doesn't catch my eye, I'm less likely to read the back of it.
But I do like when it's a sneaky one, when it's a boring cover and then you read it and it's you.
Yeah, that's true too. So, yeah, I really liked the cover, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. And then, the audio that I heard, it didn't make me want to read the book. It was the cover.
To any audio. Since we picked this book, I've been skipping past it because I didn't want to find out too much.
Yeah, I haven't seen more about the book online, but
so many people reviewing the book. I did see one person talk about it's kind of vampire-ish.
I just like that there's fae.
They're not actually vampires.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen that yet, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I don't really know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways, excited to read
but yeah, long intro short. This is I guess episode 1, part 1 of our breakdown of of Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
Chapters 1 through 7.
Yeah, chapters 1 through 7, looking at 8 right now. I will say that it seemed like I was more interested in the book a little bit before you were.
I was bored until chapter 5.
I wasn't bored. I was interested because I haven't really read a book that was talking so much about when you breathe it hurts because those kinds of
I did like the world building. It's just not enough was holding my attention. Yeah. Especially her long conversation with that one guy.
Yeah.
I understand we needed
Carrion.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that we needed that background information, but
I don't care that you fucked him. I literally don't give 2 shits.
Yeah, him. Not him. The old guy.
Oh, Elroy?
Yeah, that one. Elroy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so starts off with this girl. She's in a different zone of her world. She explains it they're rings.
Yeah, so it's like an old wagon wheel.
Yeah.
I think the castle whatever is in the middle, and then it's the spokes. It's different. I wanted to say factions from
Yeah, I know they said wagon wheel, but in my head I still thought of rings like a bullseye. I don't know why I thought of it that way, but in my brain that's how I pictured it.
Yeah, when she said wagon wheel, I imagined a wagon wheel, and I was like, okay, the different spokes. It's like you have a part, you have a part. But then like she said the third, so is it like 1, 2, 3, 4? Like how many sections are there? How big or small is like this wagon wheel? And if the third is like not quarantine, but quarantine, like they're the filthy ones. If it's like a wagon wheel, I feel like they're still close to everyone else, so it should be like, you know, farther away.
That's why rings made more sense to me than spokes, because with the wagon wheel, they're like really separated. At least whenever I think about a wagon wheel, I think about them really separated.
Yeah, because they all like, there's not a big gap between like some of them and then this one. Like they're all evenly parted out, so
it's like
didn't make sense.
Post-apocalyptic kingdom, kind of. They have like different levels. It's not quite clear if the levels indicate class. I mean, obviously towards the top, closer to the castle, there is
didn't really talk
more
too much about it.
Rich, well-off people. But she's on the third. I don't know what that quite means.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means like she's the third from the castle, or if she's like a third level citizen, like lower level citizen. So she's from there, but she gets a excitement, a thrill from doing things she's not supposed to. And she decides to hop over the walls. She does it all the time because, like you said, her level is not well off. Like people
it's
are
like
really poor.
They're just like poor. It's just in my head.
Lots of thieves.
Yeah, in my head, I think of like, whenever
I was picturing like an 1800s British city.
Yeah, I'm thinking like people throw their shit out the window and you just like walk and step in it. That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Dirt roads.
So I'm like,
but like all the levels are their whole planet. I guess it's a planet.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like a
desert.
They just
have 2 suns.
And they have 2 suns.
Yeah, there's 2 suns, and it just sounds fucking awful there.
It really does.
I hate one sun. Now having 2 of them, just let me stay inside.
So they always have this sweltering heat, but there's one time. She didn't say how frequently it happened, but there's like one time where both suns are like at their peaks.
In my head, it's like noon or like, I don't know, 6.
I don't know like how often, like every day, once a week, once a month, that kind of stuff. Both suns were like at their peak, so basically everyone's baking, and because they're so poor, they don't get to like really hide themselves from the sun, so they're sunburnt, cracked skin, dirty from all this dust.
Water rations?
And their currency is kind of like water.
Yeah, because like you get like 6 ounces of water a day.
Per person. Sometimes per person.
I don't know if it's per I think it's per person.
Don't get clean water.
Yeah, it's like, here, let me drink this water, spit it back, and then my friend will do the same, and then you can have it farther down the line.
Yeah, so
with all of our shit in it.
From the kingdom all the way down, which another reason why I thought of it as rings instead of spokes is the way she described the filtration system, which it's not a filtration system.
Yeah, it's just like
the water goes to the castle, it goes through her pipes or whatever to the next level. They drink whatever they need. It goes through the pipes again all the way down until their level, but they're like the last level. So by the time it gets to them, it's nasty.
Yeah, like it's not clean.
People get sick from it. They die, which is kind of the intent.
Yeah, it's like, why keep people alive? But then you're just like making them be more angry.
Yeah. Well, I kind of thought, because she briefly mentioned rebels, I thought that maybe it was a punishment, that whole thing, because the queen just seems that way to me from the little that we've seen of her. That she was punishing that whole level. I did too.
I did kind of like her. I know she's evil, but like there's just something about like looking all perfect and innocent and just like, oh, this is exciting. No one has done this before, and then just being like, I'll fucking kill all of you. Like,
Anyways, I got off topic.
But yeah, sorry, continue that.
She's in this. She's in a higher level. It's more like clean, put together, and she's there to like steal essentials because she works. She works with a glassmaker, so she was stealing wire to do her work, and she got caught by a guard. He's got his. Was it his hand or his foot to her throat? He's got something to her throat.
I think at one point it was a hand because she's trying to get off him and she touches him.
So he had his hand to her throat and he's like, "What's your name? What level are you from? You're obviously not from here." And she lies. She's like, "My name is so-and-so." And then she tells the truth about where he's from because there's like this rumor that everyone in her level is sick and diseased.
Yeah, they're like their level like quarantined.
And she told him the truth because some of the knights of are they knights?
I just think they're like army.
Maybe
they're knights.
Some of the army
they have like chainmail stuff on, don't they? Like armor.
Yeah.
Maybe they're knights.
Some of the dudes that fight for the castle, they have these quarantine bags on their person somewhere, and it's supposed to like help them from getting sick. We learn later what's in those little pouches, but she saw it. She's like, "I'm gonna freak him out." So she's like, "I'm from the 3rd," and immediately he backs away because he doesn't want to get sick. And she knows the only way that she's gonna affect this dude, because he's a big, like, they're trained really hard to
get water.
Yeah, they get
everything.
They get basically like tortured until the brink of death to be able to get their position, because the strongest can only have that position. And she's like, "I can't take him, but I can scare him." So she's like, "I'm from the 3rd." And he's like, "Oh my God, I just touched this sick girl." Yeah. So he starts flinging his armor off.
Because he just took like one off.
I touched her with it. And she was like, "I'm going to take it." She took it and she ran, and he's chasing her. And
do you know how heavy that fucking thing was? Why is this thing 4 pounds? How big is this dude?
It's made out of solid gold.
I know, but like, it's 4 pounds. Yeah. And in my head, she's like a sickly little thing. But also, not sickly, but like...
described herself as tall.
Yeah, but just because you're tall don't mean you're strong.
That's true.
So, I mean, she's obviously strong because she can like pull herself up. Yeah. But how... This dude is massive. I feel like everyone in this book is massive.
Yeah. I don't know how big he was, but he's like, "Just give it back to me, it's fine," because he's also screwed if he goes back and some of his stuff is missing, because even though it's property of the queen, he's property of the queen, and if he mistreats his things, he's mistreating the queen's property, and she is savage. We don't know that yet, but she's savage.
We don't know this at this point too, but like, how is she human but also like over 1,000 years old?
Yes. I don't know. I was really confused by that too. I thought the Fae would have told her something.
Maybe they eventually will, but I'm just like... Yeah.
I'm really confused.
I'm just trying to be 106. I'm not trying to be 1,000.
She's been in reign for a real long time.
Yeah.
But basically, if you lie, it's like immediate death sentence, and she's seen people die from this before, including her mom. And she was like, "He's either gonna kill me so that I don't spread sickness, or he's gonna kill me for lying. So I might as well take this golden run."
Yeah, because she said also, like, if he kills her, then he has to like carry her around, which could also, spread
he really
something
doesn't
in the capital.
He doesn't want to clean up the body, because since she's in such a nice area, they won't just allow bodies to lay around like they would in her level.
Yeah.
So she's running. She gets to the wall between levels, She climbs it. It wasn't quite clear how tall this wall was, but she was climbing for a long time. She's like holding this heavy gold, what was it called? A gauntlet. And trying to like climb up at the same time. She was just making her way to the top. And a few times she kind of scared me. I thought she was gonna fall.
Yeah, but obviously she can't.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's not like the main character, it could have been like, and that was what happened to my sister, and then it could have been like a new character. But yeah, I kind of had a feeling she was gonna be fine.
Yeah, me too.
Which like really sucks when I'm watching movies or something or reading a book. I'm like, this obviously, and if I know that there's more books, I'm like, this character's obviously not gonna die, so I know the next book is sitting right over here for me to read or something.
So she makes it, she jumps over, she goes home, and she is in her level, walking towards,
There's little toe beans.
walking towards her workplace, and she works with an old man called Elroy, and Elroy used to, help out her family, kind of.
Also, didn't he? Oh, not the rebels. He used to help out the rebels, not the queen.
Yeah, he used to help out the rebels too. But she brings the metal there to melt it down. He's like, "Girl, are you dumb? If you brought this here, you cannot melt this here because all the guards
stolen property of the queen, basically.
All the guards are on their way here. No matter what you melt it down to, they're gonna know." And she's like, "Whatever, you sad old man."
Yeah.
And she leaves and finds her brother beat up in the street, which the way she talks about him,
he's just like this.
Yeah, the way she talks about him, I thought before we found out his age that he was like 10.
Yeah, I thought
15.
he was a child.
No, he's 20.
But he's still a child.
Yeah, he's 20 and a child.
Is he 20 or 21?
He's 20.
Oh, that was like 21. Yeah, 20.
He likes to go to the bars, but because they don't have money, they like trade items or favors to get food, alcohol, play games. Like, I don't know if it was a card game or like
some kind of game.
Yeah, some kind of game. And she kicks him. She says, "What did you lose this time?" And he lost his scarf that covers his face. Everyone there wears a scarf so they don't breathe in the sand.
Yeah, apparently when you breathe, it's like really, really painful because of like there's stuff. It's not just sand. Like there's stuff in the sand.
Yeah.
That like makes it hard to breathe. Which again, fuck this place. I do not, Annie. I do not ever want to live in this place. Hi, buddy. But yeah, you kind of need that, and
yeah. So she's like, "I'm gonna go inside and get it." And everyone looks at her because she says she never goes to this place unless she has like a purpose, and usually her purpose is to fight or to find somebody to hook up with. And usually, even if she does find someone to hook up, she's still gonna fight. Yeah. So she walks in, everyone's like, "Which one's it gonna be?" And she sees a well-known thief back in the corner, and he's the one that swindled her brother. And she's talking to him. She's like, "Give him his scarf back," and he's like so cocky and annoying. And he talks to her like they're best friends, and she's like, "Shut up." They talk about making a deal so that she can get her brother's scarf back. And I think the deal was 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think he wanted longer, but it then ended up being just a drink. I don't know if the time was... I mean, maybe. But I think the main part was, like, just a drink. Like, this is a drink. But I can... Obviously, I'm almost done with this, and you, like, just haven't even had a sip. I'm about done with mine. So the difference of time is where he gets her.
Yeah, so he said, have a drink with me and I'll give you back your brother's scarf. And she was like, I'm wasting my time with you, so you're gonna give me my brother's scarf. You're also going to
pay
me for my time. He was like, you greedy
I'll
girl.
start doing that.
You got it.
Pay me per message.
Yes. So they're sitting down, they're talking, and he's like, oh, I heard some interesting news about this raven-haired girl, which apparently dark hair is really rare within their whole kingdom, no matter the level. And she's like the only one with dark hair. And he's like, I heard about this dark-haired girl who stole something from one of the Kingsmen on a higher level. And he kind of alludes that the girl, whoever she may be, should be smart and hide it outside of the third level so that nobody in the third level gets shit for it. And she was like, damn, I probably should have done that, but didn't want to give him the satisfaction.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, she should probably do that. That would be smart for her to do.
And what he doesn't know is that she just gave her bag with it to her little brother. Her brother, who is always in trouble because he's one of those people who knows someone will always pick up the pieces after him, so he just never grows up. So she's like, oh no. He probably looked in that bag and he's trying to sell it. He's trying to get more booze. So she's running down the streets trying to find him, making sure he doesn't sell it because he could get in trouble if he's found with it. And then she hears screaming. And usually, if there's screams that loud, it means guards have come.
Just people, when they're dying, they just die.
Yeah.
Like,
they're too sick to, make noise when they die there. Even when they're murdered. They don't really scream.
Yeah.
So she's like...
And they don't really run.
Yeah, they don't run either because they have to save energy because they don't have money to eat. They can't sweat because they only get 6 ounces of water a day.
Yeah, you're losing that water.
Yeah.
Is that even possible? Can you survive? I
don't know.
So look at this.
She is walking and she hears the screaming and instinctively she knows it's her brother. So she starts running and everyone's looking at her weird because she's running and sweating, which she's like, I'm losing my moisture. And she finally gets close enough and she sees that she's being chased by some guards. She gets all the way up into the outside of the crowd where she sees her brother surrounded by, she can't even count how many guards. And he's holding the gauntlet in his hand. She was like, this dumb idiot. If he had just grown up, not gotten drunk and beat up, lost his scarf, I could have hit it by now. And she was just like trying to misplace the blame so she wouldn't feel her guilt as much. And they're like, hand it over or we're gonna kill you immediately. And she speaks up and she's like, I'm the one that stole it. And they look at her because she's a girl. They're like, not a chance. Right. Did not happen.
32 ounces while at rest in a temperate environment. If you're in a hotter environment, you're going to need more. And if you do more, you're going to need more. 6 ounces a day, I don't know how she should survive to 24.
They kind of seem like an evolved human species.
That's true.
Because she does also mention, while she's thinking and running towards her brother, about how humans used to have, powers. And she kind of, briefly talks about how she can control metal. Yeah. She can, move it with her mind.
Yeah, and it's a big secret that she's not supposed to let.
Yeah. She was told to always, keep it a secret by her mom. And so she never, practiced or anything. The most she's ever done is make it spin. Like a knife spin.
Yeah, or, vibrate or something. Yeah. The gauntlet.
Yeah.
Shakes or something.
So...
Which I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was just like,
Oh, yeah. It was... The next part's really stressful. It was interesting to read, but it was so much.
Again, it doesn't make sense to me. This bitch survives on 6 ounces of water a day, and she can... I mean, I'm all about, like, badass female characters, but those guards are fucking bitches.
Yeah.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. So she's like, no, for real, it was me. And the captain is just like, shut up, arrest her. And
make this girl stop talking.
Yeah. 3 guards go towards her, and she takes out her pocket knife, which basically means she's dead.
It's like a dagger thing, yeah.
Yeah, she's dead because she pulled a knife on one of the queen's men. Mm-hmm. And she starts fighting them. They got swords. She's got this dainty little knife. It's strong, but like it's a tiny little thing.
Yeah, when I think of a dagger, I think of like this up to like this, but I want something shorter that I could hide easier than like a machete or something. So it doesn't seem like it's very big compared to a sword. But.
Yeah. So she's fighting all 3 of them. I mean, they're like coming at her one-on-one, but she's fighting all 3 of them. She kills one of them without thinking. She knows from training with rebels that there's a little like space around their neck area.
There's like
here
points in their armor,
and she slips it in, cuts the artery, kills that dude. And the other 2 are like, oh, we have a real fight on our hands here.
It's like the second one just like,
yeah, the second one is stupid, and he's one of those hotheads that reacts quickly. So he's like, you dumb
bitch.
Yeah, you dumb bitch. Why would you do that? You're so stupid. I'm gonna kill you now.
Like, you just watched me kill your homeboy.
Yeah.
Come on.
And she steals the sword from the one that she just killed. Cuts off that one's hand. He was like, the fuck did you just do to my arm? My hand's gone. And
so he pretty much like backs out. Like, he's good.
Yeah.
And then
the third one, she calls him the quiet one. She was like, that's the one I need to watch out for because he watches me. And
I love this part.
Oh, yes, this part was so good. It's finally them one-on-one, and she's like mostly doing defense, and then she can see he's like slowing down a little bit. She's also kind of getting
catching the way that she moves and fights.
Yeah, she sees the instant he thinks that he's figured out her moves, and then she starts to go on the offense, and she takes him by surprise, and he doesn't have time to really get the upper hand anymore. She's got it. She's not letting down.
Yeah.
She does a little quick spin slide across the floor on her knees and jabs him with her dagger right in the thigh in another artery, and he doesn't even have a chance to know he's
he
dying.
Doesn't really know what's happening. He's just like, what the fuck happened?
He didn't feel anything. He's looking at her like, I'm about to get you, and then he looks down, blood everywhere, and he died. Which kind of sucks, because I kind of, even though he never spoke, and he just was trying to kill her, I kind of liked him.
Yeah, I kind of liked him too, but like, she just played with him.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I'm just a girl, let me hold this sword, and then he's like, oh, I got this, bitch. Psych.
Yeah. So the captain's like, after seeing that, I believe you. You definitely took it. And she gets arrested. Her brother is like released, and he's
just like, don't do it. Like, what are you doing? Like this whole time.
Yeah, he was like,
still trying to say that he did it, which good for you.
Yeah, and
brother.
She was like, shut up.
Someone with an H, right?
Hayden,
yeah. I was thinking of Heron, but we don't know that.
Yeah. She was like, you're a burden, go home, because she knew that hurting his feelings would make him leave.
Yeah.
She was like, go tell the old man what happened, and he'll take care of you now that I'm gone.
Yeah, pretty much like just getting him to not follow her. She's like,
yeah.
And then, finally, like, for once, just do as you're told, leave me alone, like, go away. Because she knows, if she didn't do that. Which I would be the same way. If someone was, like, taking you, I'd be like, well, now I gotta
Well,
break her
she
out.
was also cocky, and she's like, I'll be home by dinner.
Yeah, but she probably knew that she was gonna be home by dinner. But still, I'd be like, I'm gonna find some way to bust you out. So, even I'm also stubborn. So even if someone said that to me, I'd be like, I'm still gonna come try to get you.
Same.
Yeah, but
So she gets dragged to the prisons, which she's explained that these prisons are awful, especially when the two suns are at their peaks, because they're underground, it's dark, it's hot, it smells awful. You can die here really quickly.
I feel like underground should be like cool. No, apparently it's fucking not. It's like stifling.
Yeah.
Which again, fuck this place. I can't go underground to get cool. I don't know. I was like hot reading the book. I was like, I don't fucking want to be in this world.
I was cold reading the part after this. But she's down there, and she's down there for a while. She exerted so much energy before getting there, so she's starting to really kind of weaken. And the guard comes back to her, and she's like, I can't show any weakness. And they like have some verbal back and forth. She's like sarcastic, and he's like, leave that here, because the queen, she will gut you. Don't do it. And he walks her through the castle. And
they're like going up and up and up and up, she said.
I feel like it took forever for her to get from the dungeon to where the queen
I
lives.
hate this. Like, I go down more.
Yeah, he gives her water. She drinks so much of it.
Downs this shit.
And she didn't want to give him the satisfaction of knowing that she was actually feeling kind of sick, because he was like,
she drank too
girl,
much, yeah.
cut it out. They get up to...
But yeah, she talked to him about how, at least, she's like, oh, you can just go fill this up. Like, at least your shit is clean. And he's like, oh, well, whatever the queen seems fit, then that's good. And he's like, at least it's filtered. She's like, it's not filtered. Like, the solids are out of it, but it's still fucking brown and disgusting. And I guess he shows, like, a little bit of, like, you know, empathy, but...
Yeah.
Kind of disappears quickly.
Yeah, she was like, the reason my people are quarantined is because we have the willpower to question what's wrong with this kingdom. And she said the queen might have cut us off, but it's only made the ones of us that can survive get stronger in our hatred and in our, basically, our insurgents, which I think is why the queen cut them off in the first place. It was so dumb to do it. Yeah, I don't know why she hates them so much. Like, part of me feels like there's some sort of a backstory, but also she's like over 1,000 years old, so I don't know what the hell happened to all those. She did talk about the rebels with her mom and with Elroy, so I think that maybe they're punished because they were hiding rebels, and I think that's when her mom was killed, is because she was helping or was a rebel. Yeah, it's a teabag. And so she's making her way through the castle. She goes into this dark room, and yeah, I have a question about this place. So she's like, it feels like nobody's been here in a long time. And it's like she can't see anything really until the captain starts lighting torches one by one, and she can kind of see some things, but she says like the light and the shadows were like fighting for dominance. It was so dark. Yeah, and also might be still like delirious from spending time down there, and she's used to water. 2 suns too. Yeah, like you can die from drinking too much water, so yeah. So she's looking around this room, and she sees these like stairs, and for some reason she's drawn to them. Is there just like one area like that with the stairs, and like the rest is just like open? In my head it's like a ballroom or something. I was thinking a ballroom-ish type thing with like columns and stuff all made of stone, and then I was thinking like 3 or 4 steps up to whatever. And then I think of like a canopy bed. I was thinking like there's like curtains and it's like all dark back there. That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking like 3 or 4 steps, maybe a few
And
pillars
then
up
she
there.
can't see anything else, right? Yeah.
So she's like drawn to these stairs for some reason. She can't figure out why. She like feels her body gravitating towards it, but she can't like control herself and turn herself away. And the captain's like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it doesn't tell her why. Just like, I wouldn't, you know.
And then she doesn't hear anything move, door open, nothing, but suddenly the queen's there. And
I just imagine her with such a high voice.
Yeah, me too.
Like, a child face, a really high voice, but then, like, suddenly she's just like...
Yeah. She's, like, described as having, really long blonde hair, and she wears,
really
like,
beautiful
silk clothing, and she
apparently
looks
light on her
and
feet.
sounds, she looks and sounds, I guess, like, the most beautiful thing this chick's ever seen. And she was, like, slowly gathering that the queen is vicious, because she calls her and everyone from her place, like, rats and dirty vermin and that kind of stuff. And the queen, she seems crazy because she looks at her and she goes, did the fae send you? She said, the what now?
Yeah, she's like, what the hell is a fae?
And she was like, did the fae send you here to kill me? And she said, there's no such thing as fae, because the fae are like a myth, like a story,
like
a bedtime story
from a long time
or
ago.
even like the boogeyman kind of. Like some moms will tell their kids, like, you better be good or I'm gonna send the fae hag after you. So she's with the queen. The queen is like, you better tell me who trained you. Or
yeah, there's no way you took down 3 of my men when you're just this little rat.
Yeah.
I just think rat.
Yeah. So she eventually convinces the queen that the fae did not send her. And the queen was like, well, you still killed my property. You still stole from me. So you're gonna die. And she looks at the captain and says, make her sing. I want to hear her beautiful music. And what she means is, gut her, but do it slowly so I can hear her scream. And then she just, like,
Which if I was
flits
a villain,
away.
same. Like, I'm trying to listen to that shit.
Yeah, so she leaves. The captain's like...
Yeah, like, this whole time, the captain is just like...
Yeah.
You know, like, his whole personality shifted.
I think there might be some sort of spell, something going on between her and her knights, guards, whatever they are. Especially him. I feel like there's some magic hold she's got on them. Because she does kind of describe him as zombie-like with his motions. He has no emotion, no feeling behind any of his actions. And he just starts coming at her with a sword, stabs her right in the gut.
He says skewers her to the ground.
Twists it.
Yeah.
And he says, sorry, but you gotta sing for the queen.
Yeah.
And so he just starts, like, stabbing her with his little daggers, twisting the blade.
Yeah, he stabs her, like once in the shoulder, and then something snaps in her, and then she, like, metal melts or something.
She feels something shift inside of her, and she feels something in her, like, reach out for the metal, and stops the knife, because he's coming at her with a second dagger now. And he's like, it's
this
impossible.
scares
How are
the
you
shit
doing
out of
this?
him. Yeah,
he's really scared. And
I think called her a heretic.
Yeah.
Heretic, right?
Heretic, yeah. And he was like, it's not possible. How are you doing? Yeah. How are you doing this? And she can't really answer because she's dying. She knows she's dying. She's like, but I'm going to take him with me, and he's going to die first.
Doesn't know how she's doing it. It's just happening, and she's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, so she stands up. She melted this dagger, and she sent, like, the liquid stuff up him, but it's like...
I just imagine, like a venom thing, like it's...
Well, I was kind of thinking, like, have you seen the R.L. Stein Blob?
No.
Oh, well, that's what I was kind of
I've only seen
picturing,
the
how it, like, travels up and like slowly takes you over.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I kind of pictured it, but like a little tiny spot.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of said it was like cutting its way up him
Mm.
at the same time. And she was like, I have to kill him, but I want him to die before I die because I'm stubborn like that.
Same.
So she's like...
She literally unskewers herself from the ground.
But she doesn't take the sword out. She knows if she takes it out, she's going to immediately die. It's the only thing holding her stuff in her and clotting the blood. And she sees a sword over by those stairs that she was drawn to. So she starts hobbling her way, leaving a whole big trail of blood behind her.
He's like freaking out the whole time.
Yeah, he was like, don't go over there. Don't do it.
He was also screaming about stuff. Like,
what he kept saying just didn't make sense to me. It'll probably make sense
later.
later.
Yeah, it's something like, I don't think he said like she has a hold on me, but he was like saying like, not secrets, but like something like, he doesn't want to go like, does he say like underground? He says something. He just says a lot of, I'm about to die ramblings. Like, he's screaming a lot.
Stuff. And this is when she kind of tells us what's inside of those quarantine bags that the guards wear. It's the queen's hair and ashes from sacrifices made towards her. Like, some people are burned alive in her honor. And so they, like, take those ashes and the queen's hair and they put them in this bag to, like, protect them from sickness. Which I think is a
that
magic
whole part confused me. I did not think that was the guards. I thought that was the people in her fucking area. I was a little bit confused. I kind of just like read over it. Just like, let me get back to the killing. I was like,
yeah. So she talks about that for a second. She was like, he's so scared about this sickness, like, and he's so strong, but then he's freaking out about all this little stuff. She finally gets up these steps. He's about to grab her and she grabs the sword. All of a sudden this pool of silver is like underneath her and it's like rippling, so it's like liquid, but she's standing on top of it. And she says she's like sinking into it, kind of. She is also losing a lot of blood, so she's like, this is death. I'm dying. This is my death hallucination. Yeah. And she's able to, like, cut him good to where she knows he's going to die. But then something happens. Something comes out of the pool. Silver pool. And she's like, I didn't know I would see actual death himself.
Yes, you're calling him Death.
And she describes him as, like, this crazed, dark creature.
Yeah, she was just, like, shadow-like.
Yeah. And she was kind of scared, but at the same time she was like, finally, I'm gonna die. But at the same time she was like, well, now I can't save all the people because the queen just said that she's going to kill every single person in her level just because of her. She's like, I don't want hundreds of thousands of people to die just because I was greedy. So
she was greedy for like the right reasons. So I can melt this and I can get so much for my family. And or friends.
Move us out
or whatever.
of the third level. Yeah. So
she's like Robin Hood.
Yeah. So he comes out and he's like, did he choke her too?
I don't know if he choked her, but before he picked her up, he talked to her, I think,
He talked to her a little bit and he did like throw her on the ground. She couldn't really stand anymore anyways. And he starts going towards the captain and the captain starts muttering some like really strange things that I don't know what they mean. And he's like, you got a quicker death than you deserved, and like kills him. And then Death comes back to her and he looks down at her and he goes, really? This is what helps us? Something like that. And then he calls her pathetic. He was like, this is pathetic. This is awful.
Wear this necklace and don't die.
And then he takes his chain necklace off, which I kind of just pictured it as like this silver chain choker.
I imagine it like a necklace.
I don't know why I thought of it like a choker, but I thought of it like a choker. And he puts it around her neck, and she kind of passes out when he picks her up.
Mm-hmm.
And next, she's talking about how she wakes up, or she's awake in her mind, but she doesn't wake up.
Yeah, she just hears, like, singing,
Yeah.
talking, like...
Singing, talking, she hears, like, a bunch of stuff going on around her, and she was like, I'm really freaking cold. And...
Finally. I love the
Yeah.
cold.
And she was like, I must be dead. But then she starts to feel her fingers, feels her toes.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, dang it.
I didn't die.
So she wakes up. She can't really, like, move her body.
Mm-hmm.
And someone comes in. And she was like, oh my god. Because the first thing she noticed is how the ceiling was blue. And that kind of pigment is really expensive where she comes from. She was like, oh my god. The queen
I'm still
saved
in
me.
the castle.
Yeah, the queen healed me, and she's probably going to do that all over again. And she sees the person that comes in, and she's like, it's probably a maid coming here to, like, text me for water or whatever. Because she gives her some water.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I'm going to be greedy. She chugs the whole glass
Before she takes it back.
And she was expecting the girl to be like, well, this is what you owe me now. But she didn't. She was like, I'll get you more. And she gave her another glass of water. And she was like, something's
being
strange. And then the girl that came in tucks her hair behind her ears. And she freezes. Because she got pointy ears.
I shouldn't do the surgery. I should get rid of so many piercings if I get the surgery. But, like, you can't tell me that's not fucking cute. Come on. But I can't get rid of my piercings, so I can never have pointed ears. If there's a way to, like, modify ears, when I have a child, we tie in them ears. You're getting pointed ears one way or another. Just kidding. Me too.
Yeah, so she notices her ears. And she still hasn't, like, given up her name or anything or really any information about herself.
Mm-hmm.
But this person that she says is probably the maid is like, my name is Everlyn?
Everlane?
Everlane?
I think it's Everlane.
Her name is Everlane.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it'd be really nice if I knew your name. And she finally gives up her name, and just as, like, Everlane's kind of, like, gonna tell her what's going on, like, that
How
she's
do you say the girl's name? I know there's a pronunciation thing. I kept saying it one way, and I was like, this is not how they say her name.
Saris?
Yeah, that's how you say it, but that's not how I was saying it. I was like, there's a pronunciation literal page, but I don't want to call her Saris.
I remember that page, but I skipped over it. I was trying to look at, like, page numbers and chapter numbers, and so I never went back and read it.
Yeah, it is. I think it's Saris.
Saris? I've been saying Saris.
I think I was saying Saris, but I think it's Saris.
Saris. Yeah, so she finally gives up her name. They're about to, like, get into the whole, you're in the Fae realm, this is what realm you're in, kind of stuff. She gets as far as, like, you're in the winter realm before someone bursts in.
Yeah, but can we pause right there real quick?
Yeah.
Is her land called, like, Silverland or Silver World or whatever? Because they're covered in sand. How is she, like, the silver place? Or is that a different...
I think it used to be silver, but then when the queen took over, she did some
like
messed up shit, and now
sand
it's... Yeah.
I
think she did something.
She took all that silver to...
Yeah.
Help herself.
Yeah.
Okay, I was, like, really confused, too. I was like, I don't know
I just assumed something changed when she took Rain, and she's been in Rain for so long, nobody remembers it.
Yeah. Also, I would like to go to the Winter Court.
Yeah. The person that came in, is that her brother?
I don't know if it's her brother yet, or if it's just, like, in my head, they're, like, childhood friends.
In my head, they're brother and sister.
I don't know if they are, because...
I just been thinking of him as her brother this whole time.
I didn't, because later on, the whole king thing, like, he called him captain. I feel like if it was the son, he would be doing other things.
Probably.
Instead of potentially dying. So I was thinking, like, childhood friends.
Okay. So, her Friend.
I don't think like lovers. I just think like childhood friends right now.
Yeah, probably later.
Maybe.
So her friend comes busting in.
His name's like Renfist, something like that.
I just call him Ren in my head because it's easier.
I think it's like Renfist.
So he comes in and Everlane.
Yeah, Everlane.
Is like, dude, do you know how to knock?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, sorry, but I need the necklace back. He's going crazy. No other explanation. That drove me crazy.
Me too.
So there's no other explanation.
I love getting not all the facts. It really fucking drives me nuts.
Yes. And he was like, I can only keep him hidden for so long. Mm-hmm. And she was like, what?
I'm still confused at this whole point.
I kind of guessed that it was going to be the death dude.
Not me.
Because, well, he gave her the necklace. Yeah. And he wanted the necklace back. True. The one thing that didn't quite make sense to me, I think it'll definitely make sense later, is why he didn't touch it. I feel like maybe there's some part of the magic in it.
Why who didn't touch it?
Ren.
He does touch it.
Later, but then he didn't touch it. She said, like, he held out the pouch and didn't want to touch it. Yeah. So she gives the necklace back to him, and he was like, all right, bye. Mm-hmm. And Everlane is like, well, wait, I want to see him. And he was like, do you want him to get caught, or do you want to see him? And she was like, fine, I'll just write a letter. Mm-hmm. And he leaves, and she's like, girl, you need a bath.
Yeah, you fucking reek.
You stink.
You smell like death.
And Saris is just like, that's a lot of waste to water. Especially where she comes from. Like, taking a bath is a waste of water. Mm-hmm. And
it feels like it is, but also I think I use a lot of water in the shower.
Yeah.
So I'm just like...
So...
pause. But at my house, or when I was growing up, we had like a well. So, like, sometimes, if I wanted to shave my legs, I would, like, take a shower, but I would, like, stop the tub. So, all of that is just sitting in the tub, and then I would sit there and I would shave my legs with that water, and it wasn't even near how much I would put if I took a bath. So, I'm just like, a bath, I think it does take a lot of water. So, not coming from having a lot of water and be like, yo, you can have a bath. And be like, no, I can't. I'll rather save that water for later.
Yeah. She was like... my family would be kings with this amount of water. And then she was like, well, I wonder how long I've been here. I wonder if they're still alive. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, a hot bath. She gets distracted. Mm-hmm. She takes the hot bath. She said she scrubbed so hard, so much, that the water is black. Mm-hmm. There is scum floating on top of the water, which, if you're scrubbing so hard and then the water turns black and it's scummy, are you still not dirty?
I feel like you need to do it again with fresh water. Yeah, that's and then do it again, and then do it again until the water runs clean like fucking rice.
Yeah, I agree. So she gets out because it took such a long time. Everlane is kind of like annoyed. She's like, "Girl, we gotta get you ready." Mm-hmm. She's like, "For what? I need to go home and save my brother." She was like, you kind of belong to the king now, so no, you can't. And
she live here now.
Yeah. She was like, nobody owns me. I'm going home. Mm-hmm. She's like, well, at least talk to him first. And Everlane takes her, gets her dressed up. She was like, I'm not wearing a dress. I need pants and a shirt because I can fight, I can steal, and she almost said I can kill, but she didn't. And so they're like making her get pretty, I guess. And Everlane's like, only royals have dark hair, which I think hints at her mom's heritage or her dad's heritage.
Yeah, did she say rose or fae? What color does Everlane have?
She has dark hair too. Royal fae are the ones that have dark hair. And everyone else kind of has like lighter hair.
Which also kind of makes me feel like there was another reason why her mom was killed in the streets, like when she was younger. Not just because whatever she did, but other things. Yeah, it's kind of just like skipped over after that.
I feel like maybe her mom was a rebel because she helped fight with the Fae and
not
had
against
her kids.
the humans or whatever. Or the non-Fae.
Yeah. So I feel like that is probably something that's going to happen later.
Does Hayden also Hayden doesn't have dark hair,
he has blonde hair.
Yeah, he has blonde hair.
She was called her ray of light.
Yeah.
And
also, like,
she said her mom had never seen snow, but she was called her ice something. She called her daughter her ice something, which I think she saw snow. I'm calling it. Her mom has been to the Fae world.
Well, her mom is Fae.
Unless she, like, cut off her ears,
well,
I don't think so. Well, in one of
our books,
that
girl got clipped.
That's true.
Which would, if I found out my ears were ever clipped, I would rage.
Yeah. So, she's pretty now. She goes to see the king. She pays him no respect.
Yeah, she's just like, you're not my king.
I agree.
Yeah, same thing here.
You took me
I'm
here.
kidnapped.
You won't let me go home. And now you're saying I have to do something for
I'm
you
not from
and
here.
I'm not
You're
allowed
not
to
my
go
king.
home? He's like, shut up. You're gonna do what I say.
At first
I'll let
he
you
was
disrespect me this once.
This is exciting right now, but until I get tired of it.
Yeah, he said, you can disrespect me this once as my guest, but as soon as this meeting is over, you are part of my court, and you are not allowed to disrespect me anymore, or I will cut your head off, basically.
Which, first of all,
calm
down, little dick.
Also, that sick dragon head.
The eye socket is 6 feet wide, the teeth 12 feet long.
Yeah.
Feet.
He's got the last
144 inches is a fucking tooth.
Yeah. He's got the head, the skull of a dragon in his royal chambers.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how I imagine this whole scene? Mm-hmm. You're gonna fucking laugh.
Oh, okay.
I imagine this whole scene. You know Halloween Town High?
Yeah.
She, like, gets summoned, and there's all these people above her, and she's just, like, getting spun around, talking to all of them. I imagine it like that, but obviously there was, 3 people up there, so I just imagine her, like, down here, just, like, looking up, talking to these people.
I didn't really think of it up.
I thought about up, because I thought that there were stairs. So I thought about, like, it being up. I just imagined fucking Halloween Town High just, like, getting summoned, just, like, looking at all of these people, even though there was, like, 3 of them.
That would have been funny.
Yeah, so, but still, like, I want to know more about that dragon head.
Yeah.
Are there more dragons?
The way that the last was said, I feel like there's no dragon.
Yeah,
I think she's gonna find it.
Maybe her mom is a dragon people. That's why she doesn't have pointy ears. She's a dragon person.
Yeah. So I think there's still dragons.
Mm.
And she's like, damn, that's sick. That's real cool.
It's really fucking scary, but
yeah.
I totally forgot that there was a king here. I'm just looking at this beast.
Yeah. And she notices he's holding the sword, and she, like, feels it pulling towards her. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think she's the one that's meant to wield it, which I think means that her mom or dad was high royal.
Mm-hmm. I don't think the king likes that.
No. He doesn't know it yet, which is good for her because he is an asshole.
He doesn't seem like a bad guy, but then also he seems like he's like, I'm the king. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he can have moments.
He's not as bad as the queen, but I feel like...
Didn't he call the queen a bitch?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Well,
is it Madra? What's her name?
Madra.
Magda?
Is how I was saying it.
I forgot what it was. Something with the M. It's got Mad in it.
I think is what I was saying.
I think it's MAD. And there's Mad in it.
Yeah.
So I've been mad.
So, she has this conversation. He's like, since you're the one that opened this portal, you're the one that gave us our sword back that we've been waiting for so we can finish this war.
It's a portal now. Suddenly, I didn't know it was a portal. I knew, like, she's, like, singing on it, but I wasn't thinking portal.
Yeah, me too. And...
A silver pool is a portal? Okay.
It's pretty cool.
At least it's not a gold one.
So...
I'll hop in the silver portal. Take me away from this place.
She,
Him saying that she's gonna spend time in the library because she has to do this task, and she was like,
oh yeah, he was like,
task?
you don't know our customs yet. And he was like, don't interrupt me again. And he's like, you're going to learn our customs.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to learn about your task that you need to complete. And you're going to do a test with this sword to make sure you're not supposed to be wielding it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, that's a lot that you just gave me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even know there's a war going on. And she sits down with Eveline. And I kind of thought of it like, if you've seen any royal dramas, how they have like the king and queen, like in their
where is the queen?
People. I don't think
where's she at?
I think she probably died.
There's
like,
just like
the king's chair with his
bitch
advisors up, and then all along the sides is like chairs full of other courts people just watching, and then like a hallway. That's how I pictured it in my head.
Yeah. But in my head, it was just Everlane, Saris, and then the king, that old bitch, and the king's fucking little bitch. The king's dude.
Well,
that's all I was imagining in this room until the next part.
I was imagining the whole crowd.
Not me. Until the next part when suddenly everyone is fucking screaming.
So they're sitting down, and then he turns to some of his guards, and he's like, bring in the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And people start getting excited, and she's like, who? What is the dog?
Mm-hmm.
And turns out it's Death, and something's wrong with him. She can tell he's off. He's acting like animalistic,
thrashing around,
deranged.
Taking guards down with them.
Yeah. And she's like, he's got this crazed just energy about him. And the king calls him Kingfisher and keeps saying, like, the Kingfisher, he did all this bad stuff to us. He came back, he dared to show his face.
Also Kingfisher said, he's like, I'm like the scoundrel, I'm the children of things. I think he said that, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, you feared him, you told your children to watch out for him.
No, I think Kingfisher is saying that.
I didn't think he was saying anything the whole time.
I think he says it. But yeah,
I thought the king was saying that, and he was like, but look at him now, he's driven to madness.
I read it twice, because I didn't know who was saying it.
I thought the king said it. Anyway, someone said, look at him now, he's driven to madness, he can't be all that tough if he's crazy. And then people are shouting out, like, oh my god, get him away, put him in jail, kill him. And the king is trying to work the crowd. The king is trying to work the crowd into a frenzy to kind of like force his hand to kill the Kingfisher. And the Kingfisher was like, he destroyed this whole land without a second thought. And then we hear like a loud voice from the back of the court say, put him on the front line. And the king gets this like menacing look on his face, like,
yeah. But also, like, before that, freaking, yeah, obviously everyone is like trying to say, like, you know, kill him, blah 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 blah. Then like little Everlane is just like making eye contact with that girl, like, what's her name, like Malway or something. She just like, I just imagine going like, and then the lady just like so far away. It's just like,
do you know what I thought of?
What? Not good.
I thought of Breaking Dawn when Edward and Jacob were talking to each other, and it like kept like zooming in on one of their ears. The other would be like, they're coming, and it would like zoom into their ear. When zoom into his ear,
yeah.
And they would like
in my head they're so far, because I still think they're like higher up for some reason, like above the crowd. So like
I was thinking like 2-3 steps max.
Oh no, I was thinking way higher than that.
No.
Yeah.
I was thinking of like 2-3 steps above the rest.
Yeah, I was thinking way higher, that they're like above everyone. So they're like talking, not shouting, but like talking down to them. But still, I still feel like they're not like me to you. It's like me even past your door. And she just like says these things. And then the way the woman just goes like,
I was thinking of like meat in my kitchen, maybe.
Oh no, I'm thinking way farther than that. Because like I'm thinking of like it's like a big area.
I thought it was a big area too, but like I was still picturing like one of those period dramas in my head, so I definitely thought it was closer.
I mean, I'm thinking like it's like the doors are like here, and then they just like walking, and then here they are. Here's the doorway back here because they like walked along. There's like pillars and shit, and then the king and them is like up there, so they're just like talking up to him, and he's just talking obviously down to them, and then they're still up here, and then they go sit like over here, and then they can see all this thrashing around and shit. So I feel like they're like this, and then she just like looks at the old lady.
That
because I was like more impressed. It's like, oh shit, like this bitch looks senile, but like she heard everything, and she's like, yo, do something.
Yeah, I thought it was some magic type stuff. So she's like talking to her, and this old woman is hearing it clearly.
Yeah, because like I get it that they're Fae and like they can probably hear very well, but like this was a one-on-one conversation.
This was definitely a magic thing
that like no one else heard.
Yeah, and she was like, if you ever loved my mother, which because the way she said loved my mother, I'm assuming her mom is dead.
Yeah.
If you ever loved my mother, you'll do this for me. You'll save him. So she like rolls her eyes. She goes, ugh, and she gets up.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, she's like really old.
Do you think this was bullshit?
100%. So she gets up. She hobbles towards the king, and she's just like, I feel the sword calling to me.
The Oracle speaks.
She sees. You need to let me touch it so I can get my true vision from it. And we learn that she's an oracle. She has visions of the future. And she just kind of keeps repeating over and over, if you kill the kingfisher now, if you don't give me my sword now, then the House of Winter will fall.
Yeah, the House of... What's her name? Beldarin? Something like that.
Bella? What's the name?
I gotta find out. It's something day with a B.
Debera?
Maybe Debera. Gods, Balkan. There's anyways right first, by the way. Send him back to the front. Sword of mine. What is their name? What is that? Majesty, situation, punishment. Oh, that was before that. Moe.
So,
yeah, keep going.
She was like, this house is gonna fall if you don't do what I'm telling you to do right now. And he's like, fine, I guess I'll listen.
Yeah, it says that, like, also, she's not talking about the sword, she's talking about, like, the pendant. Like, give the pendant back to him, too. And the king was like, it belongs to me. Like, I'm literally not going to give this back. And then she's just like, the gods must be obeyed. House Debara. Yeah. Or House Debara is going to, like, fall.
Yeah.
So it's not even about the sword, it's about the pendant that she was wearing. Obviously, they gave back to Ren first, but yeah, Debaran.
So all that's going on, and the king's like, well, I guess I have to be more careful about it. I have to appease the gods. And then we hear from the back, Ren, he yells out, he's like, put him on the front line. And the king's like, you want me to trust this man that tears down worlds without a second thought on our front line to fight for us. And they were like, well, if he dies, you don't have to have a trial for his crimes. And the king really likes this idea. He was like, you got a week. And Ren shoots back, well, actually, we need two. Yeah,
but also before that, the king was like really pissed off that Ren was there. He was like, I sent you to the front line. Why are you here? Like, you're disobeying me. And he was like, actually, I'm doing my job because this is going to help the front line. If I take this guy right here, bring him with me, we'll have more of a chance to win this. But also, he could still die. Yeah, so the king was like, why the fuck are you here and not on the front line? He's like, I'm still doing my duty. but I need this guy right here to help me. Which, why is this guy so powerful? Why is he so feared, but then also, like, wanted?
Yeah. I have so many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's like, we need 2 weeks. We need a week for him to train this human so that she can fulfill your task. And then we also need the week for him to fight on the front line. King's like, fine, sure, get him out of my face. They drag him out. And then Evelyn pulls up Saris and is like, we gotta get out of here. So she's like, she wants to start training right now. We gotta go. And she's like, I'm gonna hold my tongue because I want to get out of here. Bless you. Thanks. So they go out into the hall. She sees the Kingfisher and she sees Ren. Ren's putting that necklace on the Kingfisher. And he's like slowly calming down, but there's like, he threw up. He got sick from whatever, either the magic or the madness. And she was like really able to get a look at him. She's in love with his eyes because they're like a green she's never seen before.
Emerald green or something.
Yeah, like, which coming from a desert place, I understand how green would be.
But like. She has blue eyes though. She has like bright blue eyes, so it's
Blue's
still
not
light.
green.
I know, but it's still like bright and light. I feel like if he had brown eyes, she'd be like, whoa, what kind of eyes are this? You know, if everyone around her has like lighter eyes. You know? But yeah.
So she's amazed by his eyes. She's like, why is he kind of cute though?
Yeah, like.
And then she noticed something about him. She noticed that there was some shimmery stuff by his eyes. She was like, that kind of looks like silver. And
is it by his eyes or in his eyes?
I was picturing it in his waterline.
I was picturing that too, but also like throughout, like not like moving, but like in his eyes.
I only pictured him as waterline.
It could be, I don't know. And they said it, but I don't really remember.
They talk a little bit, and he's like, what does he call her? Elle?
He calls her Lane, doesn't he?
Lane. He says...
Ren first calls her something that's not Lane.
I don't remember.
But I know they did say the word Lane.
Kingfisher says, hey, Lane, and she was like, after 130?
100 and something.
100, is it either 130 or 150? I think it's 130.
I think it's 102.
No, definitely more than 102. She was like, after 100 and however many years, don't hey Lane me. And he was like, I'm sorry, but can you get me a bed? Can you get me food? I want to rest. She was like, I don't know, you were just mean to me, so I don't want to. And
I said emerald is jade. Jade colored eyes, not emerald.
Jade. Ren takes him off.
110.
110. Ren takes him off to Everlane's room because she's like, just take my room. It's fine, doesn't matter. And she takes Saris away to like settle in. And then it kind of like ends there. Oh, she looked at Everlane. She was like, stop treating me like a dog. Why didn't you tell me that you're in war? And she was like, you told me nothing. You brought me in there and I was blindsided. I have no clue what's going on. I feel her frustration. She's like, I have no clue what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm in this strange world. You're telling me I can't go home. I don't know what's happened to my home, let alone my brother. And you want me to complete these dumb tasks?
That, like, everyone was dead. But,
well,
like,
he doesn't know.
Yeah, so she was like...
He just assumes that everyone's dead.
Yeah, he just said, like, whatever the queen said, then obviously it's probably true.
Because she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... I didn't really like it until chapter 5, and chapter 5 is when she was taken to the prison. So from there to the end of chapter 7 is where I really started like getting into it, and I read it pretty quickly from there to there. I really wanted to read the next chapter.
Yeah, I feel like Renfris is like the guards captain, like Captain Guard or whatever.
Who's the general?
The general. Everlane is the king's daughter, yeah, the princess. And then Kingfisher is just like a ragtag kind of guy in my head.
I feel like he's probably was an assassin.
But I still, for some reason, they give me childhood friend vibes.
I agree.
Like, they're all friends.
Were friends.
And she was, like, pissed because Redfish, she was like, you were supposed to give this to him hours ago. Why did he just get brought into this whole situation? And then to Kingfisher, she's like, and why the hell did you go through that pool? After 110 years, you go through the pool. And he's like, well, it was closing. She's like, then you let it close. But he decided to, like, go through anyway. And then now he has this girl, well, Saris, that they have to, like, deal with. And then Everlane was like, a bit creepy at the end of the chapter. She was like, oh, I didn't tell you that we're at war, because, like, the Fae are, like, usually always at war. It didn't really skip my mind, but, like, let me tell you, like, the Fae are always at war, and, like, even if they're smiling, like, they could still stab you in the back, so, like, be careful who you trust. And she's just like, are you one of those people? Like, should I trust you? We're all about to sleep in the same room together now, but...
Another interesting thing was the gods. So... There's gods. There's like forgotten gods in Silver
City, I don't know, something.
Wherever Saris is from, there's gods there, but most of them are like forgotten, except for the two sun goddesses. They're like twins, and their names are like Min and Rin, something like that.
Yeah, it's like.
And there's also gods in the Fae realm. They have a lot more. Well, they also remember all their gods.
Yeah.
And all of them are, like, cherished and...
Yeah,
like,
she, like, did this. Like, every time she, like, passed one, she's
they are really respectful towards their gods. Even the trickster one, but I thought it was really cute. Whenever she passed all of them, and the tradition is to, like, pat the trickster one on the foot so that he doesn't pay attention to you. Like
redirected. Like,
yeah,
with the fucking
I thought that was really cute.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I don't know, but I feel like I should also do this. She's like...
Yeah. And then she kind of was told about their twin goddesses and how their twins used to be like one person.
Yeah.
But they got cocky during this storm, and they're like, I'm not hiding, I'm gonna ride this out.
Yeah.
And they got struck by like some really powerful lightning and split into two.
Yeah, like
the sun and the moon.
And she was like, I don't even know what a moon is. Does this place, does the sun just always fucking up, or does it just like go to the horizon and then fucking come back and go to the horizon and come back?
Maybe.
Like, does it just like do that?
Probably. But she realized that the name for their goddesses was similar to the name for the suns.
Yeah, she calls the suns the twins.
Yeah. It's similar to the name for, which that confused me in the beginning, because they were like, leave it out for the twins. I was like, who are the twins?
Yeah.
And so she kind of noticed that their names are like really similar, and she was like, maybe we have the same gods. So there is kind of like some hinting at overlaying of their worlds, and they were like cut off from each other at some point. And I think it's probably when the queen came into
power or whatever she did. Yeah.
But I don't think she came into power. I think she took power.
Yeah.
I think she forced her way in there by some kind of trickery, and I think her beauty has something to play.
I just want to know how she's over a century old and she looks like this. Because
even the Fae said she's human, but she's so old. And she's not aging. She's still young and beautiful. So I think she's...
It's all that water.
Equivalent. I think she's probably equivalent to a witch, is my guess. And I think the city used to be silver, and the suns used to not be as harsh. But whatever she did to the suns is giving her power.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on. But I'm excited to see her train with the Saris to train with the Kingfisher. I am definitely ready for the tension that I'm expecting to go on between them. I'm so ready. And I just kind of want to see what happens with her ability now that she's in the Fae realm, and with the sword, because it is metal.
I feel like,
and it also like,
I think she's still going to hide that she can do this.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna come out eventually, but
I definitely want to see some Matt combat training. Because I feel like...
I want Kingfisher to come at her with some sort of thing and she just, like, melts it. And he's just like... And then she attacks him.
I want to see some Matt action because I see some straddling, tense situations coming. And I think they're going to be hot.
Mm-hmm.
This book, for me, is 610 pages long. So I think it's been described as a slow burn, which is fine because I've heard that the action scenes really give. So I'm excited.
Mine's 730. Yeah, 730.
Yeah, mine's 610. Obviously, there's like end things.
Yeah,
so
mine says 733.
Mine's probably 600, under 600, somewhere around there.
Mine says 733, but it's 730. There's 3 more pages of like, you know, extra stuff.
Mine might be like 600 to 605.
Yeah, I'm also ready for more things.
I also heard there's really good banter in this book.
I like banter.
I love banter. Especially, like, when they're cocky. Like, he was mad and crazy and angry when we first saw him.
When he was just like, don't die before I get this back. Like, like, what does this necklace have to do with him and why does he need it?
Yeah. Like, if it had been Kingfisher and Everlane, it would have been a grumpy sunshine, but she's also, like, she's really like, grumpy, so it's, like, grumpy, head on, and I feel like it's gonna make for some really heated scenes that I'm really looking forward to. I just want to get choked. I think someone's definitely gonna get choked, and I think he's gonna be first.
I'm into that.
What are your predictions for what's coming in the next 8 chapters? Well, 100 pages, however much.
I think maybe obviously she's gonna start on her task, maybe in the library doing something. I feel like maybe there will be, while she's in the library, maybe there might be something hinting about her world or something about her powers. And then obviously there's gonna be some physical training, but I don't think we'll have more interactions with the king, but maybe that Malway lady. Maybe she'll pop in or be seen somewhere, or just whatever. But
do you know if we switch POVs in this book?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because
I haven't looked anything up about this book.
Yeah,
so I really don't know.
I literally just noticed that as I was going through looking up things that there was like chapter heading, like chapter titles. I wasn't even paying attention to that, so now I have to pay attention to that. But yeah, I think there's gonna be, obviously, she might learn some stuff at the library. Maybe get some more training. Maybe talk more. Maybe that Malway lady will be like touch her somehow on accident, and then just be like.
Yeah, I think the next
maybe
8 chapters,
learn something about her mom.
Yeah.
I don't know when her mom died, but I feel like maybe the Oracle might see something, or the Oracle might find out that she can do the metal bending kind of thing, or...
I pictured her mom dying from when she was age, like, 10 to 15 is around maybe. Where I think. So that's anywhere from 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I think so too. So obviously she has memories, like, of her mom and stuff, so maybe the Oracle might somehow come into contact with her, or in a dream, I don't know, and we'll learn some more about Malway, because she seems like she has a good relationship with Everlane. So, I don't know, I think something like that might happen. I don't think we'll hear from the king right now. Maybe at like chapter 15 or something like that, or 14, but I think it'll be just more, you're here to do this kind of based situation.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of Kingfisher in the next 8 chapters. I think they're going to get too heated and one of them or both of them is going to storm off. Because he just seems, we haven't really seen much of him, but he just seems like the domineering, like, I know what I'm talking about kind of people. And she is kind of like a shut up, I don't care kind of people. So I feel like their sessions are going to be cut short. I think we're going to see a lot more of Evelyn and maybe Ren, But I don't think we're gonna see Kingfisher a whole bunch. I think she's gonna learn some history about wars, maybe about what Kingfisher has done. But I don't think we're gonna learn like the big bad until we hear it from him. And I think that's gonna be after these next however many chapters that we read.
And it seems like the king doesn't know that they're all friends. His daughter, the
he
general,
doesn't seem
and
like
Kingfisher.
an involved dad, though.
Yeah. So I want to know how they're all friends.
I think we might find that stuff out, but I feel like it's gonna be more like training, preparing for war kind of stuff in the next few chapters. I don't think she's gonna get a whole lot of time with the sword. I think it's mostly gonna be like library scenes. Too. I'm hoping that there's a cornering in a library scene coming, but I don't think we're gonna get it just because of how long the book is. I definitely don't think there's gonna be any kissing, touching, anything until like page 300, 400. I really don't see it until then.
I read a book earlier this year. Over 600 pages. On page 400, they kissed. I was so annoyed. I'm like, this whole time.
I feel like this book is
finally it happened. It annoyed the shit out of me.
More action than spice. I have
but
heard
like,
that it has
fine,
really good spice, but I think we're gonna be like, we're probably gonna be annoyed by the time it gets there. There's gonna be some tense scenes, and then it's probably gonna get interrupted. They'll be like so close, and someone's gonna barge in. But again, I don't think that's gonna happen in the next part that we make.
Yeah, no, there's like over 40 chapters.
I think it's gonna be mostly finding out about the world that she's in and library stuff. I don't even think she's gonna meet the Malway chick until maybe the end of what we read next. I think it's just gonna be Evelyn, her, and I think some dusty librarian. Because they are always dusty.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I do think it'd be interesting if she finds out some stuff about her world's history, like before the queen, or even her own powers. So I hope that is in there. I'm not disappointed if it's just the library. I just hope that we find out enough that it's not like
if it's
boring.
Another 7 chapters of just the library, I'm gonna be really annoyed.
I would like to see her explore the lands, maybe go outside, because she got a quick peek and then she left. So I'd like to see her go outside, maybe learn about the other realms, kingdoms.
Yeah, she said like the portals were open, and he said they can go to like other places.
Which I'm hoping that means later, like maybe in the not the next chapters that we read, but the ones after these ones. That maybe she'll get to go to one of them for like something.
I don't know if there's going to be more books, but I feel like that's going to be a second book kind of thing.
Just based on how it is, I definitely see like build up to a war, but I feel like a book 2 is going to be heavy war based.
Yeah, I mean, they're like in a war right now. They're still like fighting.
Yeah.
So it's still happening, but
I don't see them coming head to head with the queen until a second book. It could happen.
Or like the end of this book.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be in this realm for a while.
But even then, I feel like a second book would be like a battle for the throne kind of thing.
To get rid of the human one?
To replace
the king.
Replace the queen.
The human and the human queen? Yeah.
I would also like to see any mention of the queen's past life. And how she came to be queen, or how she's able to live as long as she does.
Yeah.
And I would like to know more about the human magic that she talked about and how it was taken away.
And why does she have it?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it has to be a secret, but
I think she's Fae. She's half. She's something. She's a quarter.
Yeah.
She got a little. She's a quarter.
Of course,
she got a little sprinkle in there.
Yeah. I think so too.
I'd like to see her
I think
practice
Hayden
that, too.
is basic, but I think she has something.
Hayden?
Her brother? Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think he has anything special. I think he's just, human.
I think because she described him as ice, or as summer, that maybe he's gonna have something to do with light, and maybe he just never noticed it because where they live is so bright.
Elroy definitely knows more than he says. He just says you need to hide these powers, so he definitely knows more.
I agree.
You think Elroy is like a family friend or like I'm your grandpa?
I don't think he's grandpa because he was in love with their mom.
He was in love with her? Oh, it's like stepdad kind of situation?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Maybe not grandpa.
They weren't married, but she said she noticed he was in love with her mom when her mom died, and then he slowly like closed in on himself, stopped helping rebels, stopped making weapons, that kind of stuff. So I think it's...
You think Heron's really dead? He was talking a whole lot of stuff. Or do you think he's just like into the ground or something?
I think he has some magical thing going on with the queen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna come back. I don't know how long it's gonna take him to come back, but I don't think he's gone. I think it has whatever to do with that magic she's got going on, and I think there's whatever magic in that sword that cancels out her magic and why she's so scared of it. And it getting back to the Fae.
I know it's just like still the beginning of the book, but why was that Karen guy like pretty like prominent part so far in like the thing?
I feel like he's gonna help with
her,
something?
Yeah.
And like rebels and getting Fae into...
Yeah, I think the rebel group is still alive and well.
I think he definitely has some like... I think we're gonna find out that he has like...
He said he's not even from that area. Yeah. He just goes there, which doesn't make any sense. Why would
his grandma's there.
You know, but like...
Yeah.
Take your grandma out.
Yeah.
If you move up, you gotta bring your people up.
I think
you can't just...
Yeah.
Let him be there.
I think we're gonna find out that he has like some underground thing that runs through all the levels, and he's somehow able to like smuggle stuff back and forth because he is well off. So I think he's got some connections, and he's gonna be able to like get them.
Because it doesn't make it. I don't care that you had sex with her or that you had sex. I don't care.
Yeah,
like, why
I feel
was that
like
important
there was
to
too
say?
much detail about
so I feel like
their intimate relationship.
More important than what we think right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to form this whole bond with him if this is the last we're going to hear of him. So I feel like he'll definitely come back.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think she bombed everyone. I think everyone is still there.
I think so too. I'm wondering if time passes differently.
Yeah.
Because she did say that she was... Someone said she was there for, was it 10 days?
Yeah, she's been here for 10 days.
She's been in that induced coma for 10 days, and she woke up on the 10th, I'm assuming 10th day. So, I think they're going to be looking for her, trying to find information, because if they kill everyone there, they're not going to find out anything about her, because she was fully expecting her to die.
Yeah, but also, after they went through the portal, did the portal close up? What's on those secret steps?
Fisher said that he saw the portal closing, so he hopped through it.
But like, it could still close. But like, is it able to like open up again? Because the king said the portals were open.
I think there was a block.
Do something
to get them to the human realm.
Yeah, because like the portal opened when she pulled the sword is called Quicksilver. The portal opened when she pulled that sword. Obviously, the sword is not in the ground anymore.
The sword also closed it. I think you can open it anywhere.
That makes sense then. So, yeah, if it's been 10 days, the queen is obviously afraid of the Fae.
I think all of those people are probably in those dungeons.
What people?
Everyone from her level.
Oh, maybe. Like, that's a lot of people. She said it was like 100,000. Like, a lot of people.
Yeah.
How many people is in this city? Because 100,000 is a lot.
Yeah. Well, she also said that they're like cockroaches. They just keep like multiplying. Which, got nothing else to do.
Pretty much. Yeah, I think there's gonna be... Hopefully it doesn't get like stagnant just in the library for a while.
Yeah, I am expecting a scene or two of that just based on the first 4 chapters for me. I do think I'm gonna get bored again. But I feel like after we get to the halfway point, it's really going to pick up. And I don't think there's going to be any slow points until the end of the book. I don't think it's going to be as often from here to there, but I do think there's going to be slow moments. I think there's going to be a lot of her thinking to herself, like, oh my god, what I've got myself into, what have I just learned, kind of stuff.
Is Everlane really a friend? She
Yeah,
was stabbing
yeah.
in the back.
Yeah, because
What if she's the mastermind? What if she's behind?
That would be kind of badass.
That would be crazy. Like,
I don't think she is,
yeah,
but that would be really
but
badass.
she just betrays everyone and takes down her dad.
That would be the best twist
Wouldn't that be crazy?
ever.
Just like, Kingfisher, I'm gonna kill you, run first. I killed you. And like, father, and then she's like, I'm the queen now. That would be
That'd
crazy.
be cool.
Yeah. I think that's it for now.
Sorry, this one's really long.
Oops.
It's over an hour and 30 minutes.
It's only been 7 chapters.
We're gonna read the next 100 pages. I don't know off the top of my head how many chapters that is.
We're not gonna do the next 7 chapters, looking at 16? Or are we gonna...
We can do 7, but I figured we would just do 100, because that would be just 6 episodes. Anyways, we'll figure it out, and let you know in the next one, I guess.
Mine would be chapter 12. 137 to, like, 237 would be chapter 14. Looking at chapter 14 for me is 248.
Mine's 15.
That's page 259 for me. But then, if we just finish that one, then we're looking at 16 anyway.
Anyways.
So, yeah, anyway, we'll figure it out.
We'll let you know what chapters we're talking about next time. I would say the next one's going to be shorter, but probably not.
Hopefully.
We're going to try and obviously talk about what happened in the chapters, and then we are going to, again, predict what we think is going to happen next. If you read along with us, I guess give us your predictions. If you haven't started it yet and you would like to read along with us, I don't think we spoiled too much. I mean, it's just the beginning of the book. So, yeah.
Yeah, just let us know. We'll definitely come back with another video breaking down the chapters. Don't know when, but shorter than from Halloween until now, which it wasn't like that many days. But
yeah, the cold weather's shortening my attention span, so we'll see.
Yeah, so sometimes it takes me a minute to get into a book after just finishing one, especially like a longer one. So once I'm into it, I'm easier to read faster. But I think I'll read pretty fast. I hate long chapters. I hate long chapters.
I don't mind it if the chapter's good.
It still doesn't need to be that long. Why is a chapter 21 pages?
There was
and
a
then
chapter.
15. And then the first chapter was 10 pages long. The next one was 21 pages for me. And then it was like 16. And then 15. And then 14. Back to 19. I'm like, I hate long chapters. There's nothing else to say about that. We'll come back with another video. Yeah, give a like or a comment if you think our predictions are accurate, if you've already read it, or whatever you think. Yeah. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.